This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. The funeral of the Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera takes place with full state honours in Colombo. Former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake and 7 other suspects of the bond scam remanded until tomorrow. COPE calls for an immediate probe of ilmenite sale and a report within a month. GMOA says adhering to health guidelines imperative during the New Year season. US blacklists 2 Myanmar military-controlled companies. The final rites of the late Chief Prelate of the Amarapura chapter, Most Venerable Agamaha Pandita Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera, was held this evening at the Independence Square under state patronage. The final rites were conducted in the presence of chief prelates representing the 3 chapters, clergy representing all religions, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and other officials. The remains of the Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera, which was placed at the Mount Lavinia Temple, were brought to Independence Square in a vehicle procession. The cremation proceedings were conducted by Gansune Assaji Thera. His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, Islam and Hindu clergy took part in the religious funeral ceremony. Parliamentarians, foreign diplomats, including Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, former President Maithripala Sirisena, and former Speaker Karuja Sira also attended the funeral ceremony. Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Nayaka Thera passed away at the age of 88. He was conferred with the Agamaha Pandita title by the Myanmar government on the 2nd of March 2007. Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera is credited with the distinction of having delivered sermons over national radio for many years. His sermons have also been widely attended by audiences overseas. Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera had also been a prolific author, having published more than 36 books on various subjects related to Buddhism since the 1960s. Professor Charita Hera, chairman of the Committee of Public Enterprises, COPE, requested the Secretary to the Ministry of Industries, Anusha Palpita, to immediately investigate and submit a report on the tender awarded by Lanka Mineral Sands Limited, a wholly owned state-owned company, for the sale of 85,000 metric tons of ilmenite at US $147 per ton to the third-place bidder instead of the buyer who had offered the highest price of US $165 per ton of ilmenite. Officials of the Lanka Mineral Sands said the tender for the sale has been awarded by a tender subcommittee appointed by the Cabinet of Ministers and has been approved by the Cabinet. The COPE members who drew their attention to this said it is observed that the officials of the Mineral Sands Institute have taken steps to mislead even the Cabinet of Ministers. It was also revealed that the current price of a metric ton of ilmenite is close to $240 US. The committee focused its attention on the decline in the sales in 2020 compared to the total sales in 2018 and 2019. It was revealed that as a result of still storing the 85,000 metric tons of ilmenite sold to a buyer in October 2020 in the Pulmode deposit, the company is incurring losses due to the minimizing the space available for the institution to store further minerals. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life.
The Government Medical Officers Association GMOA Assistant Secretary Dr. Naveen D'Souza said the people should keep in mind to follow the basic health guidelines strictly when preparing to celebrate the upcoming Sinhala Tamil New Year festival. Addressing the media, he said after the New Year celebrations, the COVID pandemic situation could become critical if the public does not follow the health guidelines. The country still witnesses a considerable spike in COVID positive cases as we are a part of the global COVID pandemic situation. Therefore, people cannot continue their usual activities without adhering to health guidelines, Dr. Soisa said. People should keep in mind to maintain social distancing, wearing face masks and washing their hands regularly. The Ministry of Health today confirmed another 163 fresh cases of the coronavirus in the country. This new surge has brought the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country thus far to 91,181. According to the Epidemiology Unit, 2,746 patients infected with the virus are currently under medical care, while total recoveries have reached 87,881. The death toll due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country stands at 554. That ends local news for now.
Introducing Speed Investment with Sri Lanka Insurance, the only insurance policy that increases your sum assured by 5% every year for the same premium amount. You also get a bonus payment at maturity. What better plan to have when you can invest now and relax later? The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life. Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Former Finance Minister Ravi Karnanayake and 7 other suspects of the central bank bond scam have been remanded until the 30th of this month by a 3-judge trial at bar of the Colombo High Court. The suspects are charged with criminal misappropriation of bonds worth 36.98 billion rupees at the central bank treasury bond auctions held between March 29th and March 31st, 2016. The lawyers appearing for the 8 suspects, including former Finance Minister Ravi Karnanayake, who have been remanded in connection with these charges, had ended their statements regarding their bail applications yesterday. Following the conclusion of the submissions, the 3-judge bench adjourned the hearings to March 30th and directed the Attorney General to submit his submissions on the same day. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on Watchlight tonight, all health guidelines with regard to the reopening of the Western Province schools on Monday, March 29th have been issued to the relevant authorities, the Minister of Education said. According to the statement, classes with less than 15 students can be conducted on a daily basis. Classes with 16 to 30 students will have to be divided into 2 groups and conducted week after week. And the classes with 30 or more students will have to be divided into 3 groups, and classes must be conducted on equal number of days. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. US blacklists 2 Myanmar military-controlled companies. India locks down some towns as coronavirus cases hit 5-month high. 2 pilots survive military jet crash in England. The United States today sanctioned 2 conglomerates controlled by Myanmar's military following the general's February 1st coup and deadly crackdown, according to a statement on the US Department of Treasury's website. The US sanctions target Myanmar Economic Holdings Private Company Limited and Myanmar Economic Cooperation Limited, according to a notice posted on the website. Authorities ordered people indoors in some towns in western India as the number of new coronavirus infections hit 53,476 infections overnight, the highest in 5 months. Cases have surged across several states since late February following a near full reopening of the economy and flouting of safety measures such as the wearing of face masks and social distancing, health officials say. More than half of the new infections were reported from the western Maharashtra state, home to financial capital Mumbai, where millions have returned to work in offices and factories. 2 pilots are alive and undergoing medical checks after ejecting from a British military jet in southwest England, which later crashed into a field. The pilots did not sustain life-threatening injuries, said a spokeswoman for Cornwall Air Ambulance, which responded to the report of a crash. The UK's Minister of Defence said on Thursday that an investigation will start into the incident involving a Royal Navy Hawk aircraft that was based not far from the site of the crash in Helston on the tip of England's most westerly point. Back to the world news headlines. US blacklists 2 Myanmar military-controlled companies. India locks down some towns as coronavirus cases hit 5-month high. 2 pilots survive military jet crash in England. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
The Cabinet of Ministers granted their consent to the proposal made by the Health Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi to establish the Anuradhapura Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Zone. Speaking at the weekly Cabinet media briefing held at the Government Information Department yesterday, Minister Rambukwala said that it has been planned to establish the Anuradhapura Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Zone in Oyanamadu, where the Dayata Kirula exhibition was held. It was decided to provide an opportunity for local investors to invest in this zone for the production of high-quality pharmaceutical products at a low price. All pharmaceutical products will be manufactured according to international standards. That came to you on Development News.
Development News was brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
Coming up, sports news. The West Indies Cricket Board has decided to hold the cricket tournament against England, which was postponed due to the spread of the coronavirus in January 2022. The Board of Control for Cricket in England and the West Indies have decided to extend the Test series to 3 matches and the T20 series, which was supposed to be 3 matches last year, to 5. That's sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Singer Sri Lanka PLC, country's premier consumer durables retailer, has clinched prominent awards at the Slim People's Awards 2021, reiterating its dominance in the consumer durables sphere. Singer was crowned Slim People's Brand of the Year 2021 award for 15th consecutive time, topping off a memorable night for the retail giant. Forging its way to yet another remarkable achievement, Singer clinched the coveted Slim People's Durables Brand of the Year 2021 award, reaffirming its positioning as Sri Lanka's premier consumer durables retailer. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The government of Japan has provided a grant of 7.2 million rupees through the Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Projects for the provision of reconditioned ambulances for the Mulei Cooperative Hospital. The grant contract was signed by Ambassador of Japan, Akira Sugiyama, and President of the Cooperative Hospital Society Limited, Mulei, M. Nyaneswaran, yesterday at the Ambassador's residence in Colombo. The Mulei Cooperative Hospital was established in 1936 as the first hospital in Southeast Asia managed by the Cooperative Society. The hospital since then has been meeting various medical needs of patients, primarily from the western part of the Jaffna district, serving a population of approximately 200,000 people in total. That was economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And to conclude the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur in the eastern, over and southern provinces. Fairly heavy falls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the Sabragamur, western, northwestern and central provinces during the evening or night, and fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the above mentioned areas. That was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The funeral of the Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera takes place with full state honours in Colombo. Former Finance Minister Ravi Karnanayake and 7 other suspects of the bond scam remanded until tomorrow. COPE calls for an immediate probe on ilmenite sale and a report within a month. GMOA says adhering to health guidelines imperative during the New Year season. US blacklists 2 Myanmar military-controlled companies. That ends this news broadcast, and now it's back to Victor Raj and Soundi Thavam as usual on a Thursday night.